What is up, guys? Losomaniac here, and welcome to my thoughts on Minilad's apology. So before I get into this is all completely unscripted. So if I do say something, just know I'm not defending him. I'm not forgiving him for anything. There's no way I could forgive him for what he did. If you guys follow my channel, then you guys know I have 3 certain rules to how I feel towards people. Most all of them are inappropriate because I'm a weird motherfucker. So all of my rules, the things I do to forgive people, or what I don't forgive them, are there's 3 rules, and if they fall under any of those rules, whether they're my friend or someone I support, I'm done with them forever. And Mignolet definitely fell into one of those. So there's no way in hell I could defend him. So, and yeah, saying I have a rule and that I'm not forgiving him does seem a bit weird, and that it's just like, he's just saying that as an excuse. No, trust me. I don't follow a lot of rules, but I do follow my own separate rules, because that is my rules. And whatever. We all have our own rules that we follow. Kind of like in how people say they won't do drugs because they knew someone who died from drugs. People don't do drugs because of it. That's their rule. So, yeah, my rule is if you fall under these 3 categories, any one of the 3 categories, you are done for. So this is definitely one of those where I'm not defending him. But if I do say something that defends him, or I won't say defends him, but forgives him, I should say, then I'm sorry. This is unscripted. His apology was alright. It was definitely better than the last one he did. But I did want to say it was weird in the sense that I haven't been following up on the people, just mostly Minilat. I do know what happens. But we do need some more confirmation whether he was telling the truth, whether he was not, if there's anything at all. So let's start here. He did say that Hallie was a Twitch mod of his. And he said that they're very close friends. Personally, I think that's kind of a weird thing to do. Because it's your job. And here's why I don't think your friends should be Twitch mods. Because whether or not there is gonna be some sort of bias. Now, I'm not saying everyone who's friends with their Twitch mods, or Twitch mods who are friends with the people or the Twitchers that they're modding for, don't have a bias against them. I'm just saying there could be at some point a certain bias. As we learned, Hallie had a crush on Minnie. If what Craig said is true, maybe to some extent it's in that maybe they were Twitch mods. I doubt to a certain extent that Haley would use her modding privileges for Minnie if he abuses them, but that is sort of a risk that comes with it. So I'm not blaming anybody for anything, because I can't, because I don't know them. And I don't follow the situation well enough, because that's none of my business, even though it's out in the public and I'm talking about it. So, but yeah, so it could be something like that. But I also feel like it was just weird. I do have a theory of my own in regards to this. So I do have a feeling that maybe Minilat got this inspiration of an apology from Pyrocynical, because around the time Pyrocynical was doing really well with his apologies, so Craig thought maybe I can try some of that out. So yeah, he did do one thing that I did mention in my how to make an apology video, which is admit that what you did was wrong, or take responsibility for what you did. He did admit that he did what he did in this apology, unlike the last one. So I will give him credit for that. But the reason why I say it's similar to Pyrocynical's apology was because of the fact that in Pyrocynical's apology video, he mentioned about the fact that he was doing this like role-playing thing with an underage person, and he should have asked right then and there of the age. So Pyrocynical mentioned that, but Craig should have known that. But I feel like in this case, Craig knew he was, or Hallie was underage, or Ash. Um, and he said it's not okay. Well, it's kind of too late for that because you knew. Pyrocynical probably didn't know. All right, Pyrocynical said he didn't know because around the time he put his age on his Twitter bio, around the time I put his age in his Twitter bio, Pyrocynical was banned from Twitter, so there's no way he could have known. But I think, to my knowledge, Craig knew of the age and still went with it. So unlike Pyrocynical, who got scot-free, there's no way Miniland could be forgiven for. So, and he did say that the reason he moved away from America wasn't to avoid charges; it was to visit his family. Now, I do believe him in that, mostly because someone's stupid enough to partake in something like that with an underage kid couldn't be smart enough to avoid charges. So I do believe that. All right, because if you're an of age person and you're stupid enough to do any sort of sexual activity with a underage person, I doubt you're smart enough to go visit the country or to leave the country to press charges, because if you were, then you'd be smart enough to know not to do that shit in the first place. Because that shit doesn't come into your head. You're not thinking, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna get arrested. No, you're leaving the country to visit someone. Now, that is possible. Now, he could have actually done that. He could have actually moved away to avoid charges. But again, I don't think he'd be smart enough to do that. So I do agree with him there. Or yeah, I do believe him on that. Yeah, I just said that. But I kind of feel like this is a weird one in a sense of like it went from like an apology to like a channel update type thing, which Optimus mentioned. But the thing with this is like you can't do that in an apology. You can't just sit there and be like, I'm sorry I tweeted at PETA with a video of me fucking my dog with the hashtag I love my dog. Anyways, I got some new merch for you motherfuckers. No, you can't do that. That's a terrible thing to do in an apology. You do a separate video for that. And I feel like you do that once people start to forgive you. There are a lot of people who are forgiving him, which is weird because, yeah, you may be like, oh, I forgive you, but there's no way you can forgive something like that. You can be like, all right, you made an apology. It's better than the last one. It's not enough to make me forgive you because that's impossible. But whatever, I believe you can still make someone can make an apology and people will still support him. I can't anymore. Because it took way too long, and it was around the time Pyrocynical made his. And I feel like this should have been first, Like instead of clearing the air, instead of his clearing the air video, it should have been this one. Which leads into the next thing, which is the background. I feel like the background is a bit much, I do understand that it was his thing before or after this whole thing where he moved off to visit his parents and then went off somewhere else. But with this, it's how do I put this? It just seems like it's almost like in a movie or in a video game where like the enemy's coming, so you're surrounded in like a red room as to know like you've done something wrong to the person, so now they're angry at you. I feel like in this case, it's to show sympathy, or you're supposed to show sympathy for him, but this just doesn't work. Purple, to me, well, it's kind of more of like a lavender color, because it reminds me of like the epilepsy ribbon, which is lavender. But to me, I have a feel, oh god, sorry, I have a ringing in my ear. Wow, that was sudden. You have to give me a moment. Wow. Okay. So, to me, I understand people have different reactions to colors. Like, some people think pink is girly, some people think pink is manly, or whatever. To me, purple and lavender kind of represent lust in some way. So I feel like in this case, he's because blue represents sadness to me. That's what I've known blue to be. But this purple kind of represents lust, in some sort of like romance, especially in the strip club in GTA 5. There's a lot of like um, pink and purple in the air. So purple kind of represents lust to me, and especially one of the sex scenes in Cyberpunk. Whoever you have sex with, there is a lot of pink and purple, like the strip club in GTA 5. So that kind of represents lust to me. So, but that's not important. I just kind of want to point that out there because I saw someone talk about this apology, and he said that blue represents, or purple represents guilt to him. I, to me, it kind of represents lust, which is kind of, it's kind of fitting considering, but no. How to make a terrible situation worse, right here. But no. I feel like with this, it is a lot better than his clearing the air, not by much, because there is some stuff I do want to know that I can't really give full detail on yet because I don't know if we've heard from Hallie after this whole my apology thing because it was like 2 or 3 days ago. Well, by the time I watched it, which was a couple like close to 11 to 12 minutes ago, was 2 days ago. So who knows? We may need more from her. If she wants to talk at all, we're not gonna force her into talking about it. She did her thing. If she doesn't want to talk about it anymore, who are we to make her do what she probably doesn't want to do? But I I kind of want to know if that whole Twitch mod thing was true, because I also want to hear from Terrorizer on this situation because Milet also said that she's been helping Brian out as well. So I also want to hear from Brian just to see if Hallie, because I'm assuming that whenever Craig said that Hallie was his Twitch mod and that he's been helping him and Terrorizer, I'm also assuming he means that Hallie was also Brian's Twitch mod. And if that is true, then we're gonna need to hear. And if that's what he means, then we're gonna have to hear from Brian to see if Hallie was at all his Twitch mod. Because if not, then this kind of make but that is if that's what Craig means in like, Hallie's been helping me, so has been helping me and Brian, so in a sense he's been or she's been Brian's Twitch mod. But I want to go back to the whole being friends thing. You can have friends of any age, but you can. It would seem a bit weird. I've had joking friends before, where it's like, oh yeah, we're friends, and then you leave. You're like, no, I'm not friends with him. I've been in double digit age, and I've had friends in the single digit age, close to their age though. I don't want you guys thinking I've been 17 and friends with a 5-year-old. That's not how it works. I've been pretty close to the single digits as opposed to more along the double digits. But it's mostly at the end whenever like because you don't want to disappoint kids, and then so you go, yeah, we're friends, and then you leave, you're like, no, we're not friends. That's stupid. But I feel like this is one of those examples where he says that they're friends just to cover his stuff up. It's kind of too late anyways, but I don't know. This whole situation just needs to stop. I'm tired of this. It's getting ridiculous. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think this was a good apology? Bad? Do you think it was somehow worse than his clearing the air, which I highly doubt? Okay, if you think this is worse than his clearing the air video, tell me why. I'm genuinely curious as to why you think that clearing the air is better than my apology. It is, if you ask me, the my apology video is okay. All right, like I mentioned before, it's okay. It's definitely not enough to make me be like, okay, you're forgiven. You still did this horrible thing, but I'm gonna watch you and like all your stuff from now on. Now, this, and again, I'm a pushover, so that means you can say anything and I'll believe you. So something like this, I'm trying to be very precautious about, in the sense of like I don't want to be like, yeah, Craig and Haley were totally, or Hallie were totally friends. They were like the best of friends. It's clearly obvious. No, I'm not gonna. I can't. I I want to stay mutual, or neutral, not mutual. I don't know either of them. I want to stay neutral on this. But if Hallie does come out, if she wants to, I'm pretty sure none of us here are gonna make her do so. And if there's one person that's making her do so, it's probably her. Or if it's not her, then they need serious help, because that's not something she probably wants to talk about. But I digress. I'm getting too much into this. With that being said, leave a like. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below. Do you think this is somewhat better? Personally, I do believe it is better, but not like the best one he's done. Not enough to make me want to watch him again, because, well, not enough for a lot of even Diesel patches to be like, yeah, we're all good, you know, like. He did a terrible thing, but if you guys want to watch him now, you're totally fine. Not like Diesel Patches has control over who we can or can't watch. We can watch whoever we want. But I feel like Diesel Patches is the person to go to if you just want to be like, it's okay to watch them. And if he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And then you're like, okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. We can... Sorry if you heard that. I have no clue what that was. So I thought that was my ears, but it moved from this ear to this ear, so I'm pretty sure that was something. But yeah, with that being said, yeah, let me finish off this outro. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what I just mentioned. Last time I checked on my statistics, I did gain a new subscriber, so thank you to you. I would mention the name, but I completely forgot the name. But if you recently subscribed, thank you. From what I last checked, 100% of you who do watch this channel aren't subscribed. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. You can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. And if you do subscribe, make sure to hit that bell notification, because I don't have a fucking schedule. With that being said, Losermaniac out.